first and foremost, there was a little controversy that was going on earlier today where people were tripping about the fact that C.J. Stroud did a press conference wearing a Seattle Mariners ball cap. And, you know, the Houston media is a certain type of way, man, sometimes when it comes to picking little things to be fickle about, man. And so it's just kind of weird to me, you know. They don't seem to understand the concept that, you know, bros sometimes like to have a little style, a little flair, get down the way that they get down. I just want you to understand something, you know, like, you know, I got this nice Houston Oilers cap. You know, this is something that I've had for a while. I didn't get it because I like the Tennessee Titans. I got it because it's a reflection back to the old school, you know, oil derrick, just bent up a little bit. You know, it's got the H-Town old school logo on the back or whatever. It's a tight little hat, man. But, you know, figured I'd go ahead and get that. But, of course, you know, people in the media here want the Texans fans or the Texans players, rather, to represent, you know, the city or whatever. They really want them to kind of show a little hometown, you know what I'm saying, a home state flair. And as long as he's not wearing Cowboys gear, something to that effect, I mean, what is he really doing wrong, right? So, you know, he's, of course, a West Coast boy. And, you know, being that he's a West Coast boy, he might want to get down with something that's more, you know, closer to home from time to time. I think he's made it very well known that he loves his Lakers. You know, he holds them in prestige above the Rockets. So I don't expect for him to change his fandom. If he's been a fan of the Lakers since he was a little boy, so be it. You know what I'm saying? And I would expect that he's also probably been a fan of one of those teams that's on the West Coast as far as football is concerned. But since he's the franchise quarterback here in town, of course, he's going to rep for the Texans, right? Well, it could have been worse, right? I've also heard some speculation that, you know, him wearing the Seattle Mariners cap was an homage to Nipsey because, you know, Nipsey was part of a certain affiliation, we'll say. And, you know, if you from my era, you know, there was a time where, you know, you rocked some caps because they were affiliated or, you know, because they were stylish and they could have been affiliated with something else, right? But it is what it is. I mean, shoot, it could have been worse. If you remember these, it could have been something like this, but that's not what he was rocking. Long story short, and the point that I'm making, it really doesn't matter because on Sundays, he's rocking with our boys, right?